Well, I woke up this morning and my hands look pretty normal again. So this afternoon, after I got some chores done that I didn't want to have my hands cut up while I tried to do them. But my hands were all back, and I've done 3 or 4 pretty long form videos where I really chopped up my hands pretty good. But every single day they've been back to normal by the next day, pretty much. I don't even think I've had to skip a day. And I could go back in and pick out some more. So this afternoon, while I was sitting here listening to Glenn Lowry or somebody on the YouTube, I just nonchalantly started picking away, uh, and went back over my hands again, and picked them all back raw again. But we're starting to see really major radical change and progress, even though things look really bad. You can see on here that I really didn't pick at this one. I tried to get a little bit of this dead skin out of the back, but you can see that's going to come off across there, and then that bumper is going to be revealed in front in that groove that runs around in front with it. This nail, is as small as this is, my little fingernail, is still too wide. And this new nail, this is all new nail material, but it's still coming out over old damage that hasn't all been gotten off yet. So that all has to go. I'm not even going to talk about the white spots under here today, because my fingers have collapsed so much that these white spots are now actually becoming not just hard places under the skin, but they're starting to lump up where they're starting to project up. Some of these little white spots that were just white spots that float around under the skin, they're actually becoming like pins, like right there. They're becoming bumps that stick up from the surface of the skin, and I can feel them. But I'll go into that on a long form video later. This was real mess in here, and you can see that there's some. This was 2 or 3 layers here that were laminated right up under the nail. I picked a lot out. It might have been a remnant of an old top nail. Might actually have been a nail buried in there. It was pretty unhappy at being pulled out. But it was looking like a side nail that was laminated on, and it had to come out. I'm trying to get these to narrow down, to come back to parallel on the sides, even though the real shape of the nail can't be restored until I get down to the nail bed, uncover the real nail bed. And the same thing's going on there. That arch, I'm not sure about that arch. I had that, maybe I'd bitten that out when I was a kid. If there was a fragment of nail here or something, then and the nail material was still getting out, it's possible that it arches up and over. It's not attached to the nail bed, so it's kind of free form, and it can spring out and come out and up and over an obstruction. It's just nail material trying to get out. It's not attached to the nail bed, and so it just vaults up from back here, up and over the obstruction, and comes down. And it will continue to curl down and stay in close contact. It can go any which way, but generally it'll come down and curl down in contact with the callus material that's built up on the front of the skin. I pulled out a lot of stuff right back there in that corner, including some nail flakes from many years ago. This, I really didn't get into this. I've got to. But I did pull out a little bit of stuff here that was obviously dried up. And I just did it by picking at that. That was a dry edge. And I picked at it, and it just pulled out a little piece there. Something else to look at here, if you've looked at several of these really long videos, an hour or more long, I've carved out this stuff down to here. In several of these videos, you can see these nails standing up in stacks, but only a day later. There's so much surplus dead material on my fingers that this has pushed right back up. And I told you it was happening, but you don't believe stuff until you see it. And this is just a big cup of dead skin, and down inside here somewhere, under all of this corroding nail material, is a nail bed. And the shape of this doesn't have any real relation to the shape of the nail bed at all. This is like a rubber cup that's just encroaching on the nail bed from every which way. But when I cut the stuff out, and if you look at some of these older videos, and one I made the two or three, there's 1, 2, 3 videos ago, I had one where I had carved away at the leading edge of this finger here, and I had started here. I started the video with it, and it showed this was all peeled back and it was red. And I showed you where I had started here, and I'd picked at it, and I'd gotten my point of the thing underneath there, and I had peeled it out all the way around here, and I stopped about here because I'd already picked it from this side, but then I had picked out some more stuff over here. And I had come very close to cutting into something that looked like it might be living tissue, but it was exposed down to there. And it's just rolled right back up. This is all dead. This is all callus material, and it has just rolled right back up, and it will continue to. And as the nails break off, of course, this surplus material here, it's easier for it to fold up. It rolls up. If I took it all back to there, if I peeled all that nail off all the way back to there, which it can come off because it's not attached to the nail bed, it's sitting on skin. Every bit of this would roll right up, and that would be down inside of it. That just shows you how much dead callus buildup you have. And you can see that, I think, on the thumb. This wants to roll up. This wants to just, there's not much left of this. And when it comes off, all of this will just roll up like that, right back up to here, right up to there. This is all just gonna, and this then will actually, even though this is a bubble here, and it stands up, when this still had nail on it, this was lower in front. It was lower than that bubble in back. But when this comes off, this will roll right up, and it will leave this bubble submerged in skin all the way around. And then on this side, did the same thing. This is coming off. This is going to scale back right on. It's just follow that line around. That's what that's going to be. And then you'll see that this is all flubber on the front of this little finger. This is all dead callus skin. And this is not nail material. It's softer composite stuff, laminated in. And when that picks out, there'll be that groove that runs around where this dead callus skin rolls up and over and back down in like that. And again, we have so much surplus on the front that it's just rolling up. Visually it looks like it's burying the nail again. It's just the pressure and the tendency of this stuff to roll up. Once this overburden is removed, there's no resistance, and this dead skin can just rise. So then we have, I picked out a little bit there, but that's not really getting into it, I didn't disturb this. This is drying up. This, I picked out a lot, and it's because I've got all of this crud on here. And on the side here, tons and tons and tons of stuff came out, and a nail flake, a really honking nail flake came out from back there. But once again, I'm trying to get this back. I'm trying to get the profile back. I want this nail material to start coming out, and I have to get all of this. It's just going from one thing to the next, This the piece of nail that's laminated on in front is buried in dead skin, but it's interleaved in there, and it's like an anchor. And so the new stuff that's coming out can't get past it, and it's just bubbling up. So this is this wants to come out here because it's impeding this. And before I got this all bloody, you could see that this down here is much newer, much cleaner nail material that's coming out, and it may actually be somewhere close to the nail bed. If I get all this skin off and get these last 2 or 3 layers of thin composites of dead nail, old nail, when they come off, we may actually start to see something come out that's actually pretty close to wanting to conform to the nail bed. This I didn't really pick at, but you can see this is just every day. You know, there's more and more. You just have to take off the next layer and the next layer and the next layer. That wants to come off in front, and then you'll see that big bumper on the front. This wants to come off back to there, and you'll get that groove back like that. That groove and that groove, they've actually, it's all filled up with skin around here, but when this nail comes off, that groove will run right back around there. And then it will all shift back because more of this stuff will come off, and the next layer of old nail will come up back to there. But it's all got to come back. It's all got to go back to where it started. However far I had the nails bitten off when I was a kid, it formed cuticle skin over this to protect the nail bed, and all of the nails that have been made by my body since then have all come out over that cuticle skin. None of them have been attached to the nail bed, and all of it is all damaged, and it all has to come off before I can have right nails again that are actually the shape of the nail bed and in direct contact with the nail bed. And then when all of this surplus skin is gone, the nails will come out, and I will only have white on the front of the nails where it comes off of the actual nail bed. This whole nail could, if it's detached from the skin underneath it, this whole nail could be white because it's not actually in contact with the nail bed. But when things are right, the nail will be in contact with the nail bed directly. The nail bed will be in its proper shape all the way out here. There won't be any overburden on it at all. And the nail will travel out on the nail bed, and when it comes off the end of the nail bed, just that little bit that sticks out past the nail bed will be white. And it will not be possible then to stick a knife up underneath your nail past there and not hurt yourself. So this is side nail. It's got to come off. All of this has to straighten up and get parallel, and these nails are still much too big, even though they're much smaller than they have been in the past. All of these are going to start to, when the nails come back, all of these will show the bumpers on the front that are all just an accumulation of dead callous skin. And next time we'll talk about it. When you look at it in this light, you can see how, when you get in a good side light, you can start to see how lumpy the texture, even though my fingers have deflated a lot, you can see how lumpy the texture is. And that's because this is old cell material is emptying out, the fingers are deflating, and they're leaving these pockets of cell material that are still remaining here under the skin, standing up. And they're starting to stick up now above the level of the skin. Whereas before, the fingers were all white. All of this cell material was between the skin and the blood vessels underneath. The whole, everything looked dead white. And then it started to empty out, and it looked mottled. Now as it's dropping, you're actually starting to see that these are turning into bumps that stick up. And I'm getting that on every finger. And it's a different story underneath, but we'll talk about that later. Just to catch up, because I have to keep up with this every day pretty much, and it changes radically every day, and it follows along. If I just skip ahead, you won't get the importance of really what the changes that we're seeing now, radical changes day to day. This is starting to, this business up here now is really starting to become important, because the next step is going to be getting all this old dead cell material out from under my skin and off my body, because this is another source of health problems in general, not just related to the nails, but backing up this waste in your body causes a lot of problems. And when this becomes more regular, I could settle for nails and still have a bunch of this junk up in my up under my skin. I actually look at that. That's a bump. It's revealing itself as this deflates. It's only in certain light that you can see this. What's going on here? I'll do another video in the next day or two, and I have an hour long video I made yesterday, I think, that I will go ahead and post. They all follow along day to day, and I need to start putting them up in order and not confusing you by switch hitting them around. But I'm just doing the best I can. You can see that. But this is, I know it's hard to believe, but as brutal as it is and as mangled as my fingers are, it's what we're calling progress.